Here's my review of The Holdovers. This is a good movie, but I think one of the things, at least going into it, I've heard people say, oh, this is one of the best movies of the year. I've heard some people say it's their favorite movie of the year. And so I went in with high expectations, but it's not the best movie of the year. I wouldn't even put it in my top 5. I don't even think about top 10. But this is a good movie. But I think it's a movie where it it is very simplistic, where it's called The Holdovers because it's about these characters, of course, who, like, he's failing school, so then he has to stay behind, essentially. And it's during Christmas time, and so you're just spending time with these characters, kind of the bickering banter between them. And it's very simplistic. Like, all of this is built on the relationship between Paul, Angus, and Mary, where Mary is the school she works in the cafeteria, chef, and she's one of the other people who you kind of just get to know, and there's a lot of these just literally sweet moments with all these characters, and it's more about learning. Like, sometimes you learn about them, like Paul kind of talks about how he was, like, never remarried, and then someone like Angus, he talks about, like, his father, and it's these little just cute character interactions that make this movie great. At least I can see, and I can see why someone would say that this is their favorite movie of the year. But I think because of the simplicity, it just doesn't really hit as hard for me. And, like, there's very sweet moments where they go to the Christmas party, just the three of them. And at first, it's like there's more of them, but overall they leave throughout until it's just the three of them. And a lot of it is just, like, mainly also, like, the great moments between Paul and Angus, where sometimes Paul is, like, talking about, like, whether it was, like, him getting remarried. And this takes place during the 1970s too, and where Mary talks about how, like, she lost her son in the Vietnam War. And it's just those little moments like that that make this movie, like, better, is just learning, these little things about these characters that are all very charming, all very well acted, especially Paul Giamatti. He was fantastic. But maybe I'm missing something. Like, I think, like, the interactions between these three characters is great, but I must be missing something when I hear people say one of the best movies of the year. And, like, I see how maybe someone could, like, feel that way, but I think for me, it's almost so simplistic, where, yes, there are these great character moments, and this is a very good movie. It's just, I just wouldn't call it the best of the year. But overall, this is a solid movie, and there's not really any, like, super deep plot. Is way more character based, and it's just about the interactions between all of these characters that just make it, like, Paul, Mary, and Angus, these three characters, very simplistic, but yet it's done in a way to kind of create not necessarily a grand story, but almost a grand dynamic, where it feels like, although this movie is very small in terms of plot, in terms of emotion, it feels grand. And it's able to do that very well. And it's just a very good movie, very simplistic, and yeah, I thought it was pretty good, but I guess I just don't understand why people are saying it's one of the best movies of the year. But I can kind of see it, but I feel like I must be missing something, but this is a very good movie.